Hi, welcome to the new and improved edition of the CSE, the Canadian Securities Exchange, the Exchange for Entrepreneurs revamped, renewed podcast. We've had to change the name and title for a few reasons, but same great taste. And today I'm here with Ilan Sobel, the CEO of BioHarvest Sciences. Welcome to the podcast, Ilan.
Thanks, Barrington. It's good to be the guinea pig on your new and improved version.
Where are you right now? Where in the world are you?
I'm located about 20 minutes southeast of Tel Aviv in Israel.
And what's going on that side? For those that are listening, I'm out of Toronto. We have our headquarters in Toronto at the CSE. We have offices in Vancouver, Calgary, Montreal. We do get around, and we've done a lot of events in Israel. But go ahead. Tell us what's going on in Israel right now.
Well, we're busy navigating through the challenges of COVID, being on the front of the curve. And what's interesting in our country is that recently our government approved the third booster for Pfizer. As we've seen, we're dealing with the challenges of the Delta version working through the population. So a third booster was recently approved, and everybody above the age of 60 are now actually going through the process of being vaccinated with the booster. So hopefully that will normalize the levels of people that are actually coming down with the Delta version who have already been vaccinated twice, and we can bring some further stability to the economy and just general stability to life.
Well, fingers crossed. It has it has been interesting times. Now, normally on these podcasts, we talk about earnings per share and what should investors look forward to, and I sort of want to do things a little bit different this time around and peel back some of the layers, not only of the company but yourself. And I know you have a little bit of background with the CocaCola company. Tell us about your experiences with a monolithic, massive company like that, and what you've taken and brought to an entrepreneurial sort of framework that is BioHarvest.
So it's actually I feel rather privileged, Barrington, because I feel that life's all about timing, and I feel very much that my experiences in the last 25 years have prepared me really well for the challenge that I've taken on board now, 14 months into the role as CEO of BioHarvest Sciences. And those, that 25 years, each layer has really helped build my own professional capabilities and personal style of leadership to be able to lead a company that really is the biotech leader in the plant kingdom. But I'm sure more to come on that a little bit later. But yeah, 18 amazing years as an international employee of the Coca-Cola company. During those 18 years, lived 12 years in Asia, 5 years in Hong Kong, 3 years in Bangkok, looking after Southeast and West Asia, as far as all the new products were concerned. Then I had an amazing opportunity of spending 4 years in Shanghai as head of marketing and innovation for the China business. Previous to that, I spent 3 years in Hong Kong general manager, running Hong Kong, Taiwan, Macau, and actually starting the business from scratch in Mongolia, building a plant in Ulaanbaatar, one of the last bastions in the world where there was no local Coca-Cola being manufactured. Amazing experience. And then I had 3 years in Africa, and I actually was born in South Africa, Barrington. And they say that you can take a boy out of Africa, but you can't take the African out of a boy.
Yeah, TIA. This is
Yeah.
Africa. Yeah.
So it was amazing to go back to Africa and to spend 3 years in South Africa leading the marketing and the commercial side of the business there, doing all the work on the FIFA World Cup. I also did all the marketing work in China for the Beijing Olympics. And then I spent 4 years in New York running a business called Glasso as general manager of that business, managing brands like Vitamin Water, Smart Water, the Powerade sports drinks, and the energy portfolio. So 18 amazing years, saw the world, experienced cultures, learned how to bring out the best in people, learned also how to understand the pulse of the consumer, learned how to focus. You know, one thing that 18 years that Coke taught me in 18 years was how to just be focused on executing. Build your strategy, and then just focusing on executing the heck out of your strategy. Um, so that was an amazing 18 years.
You know what? I've done a little bit of traveling, and I mean, if your travel was a human body, I would be your baby toe. And one thing I've realized is that people are people, through and through. It's, I mean, you have the differences, and I get that, but when it comes down to it, people are people, and the it's amazing just how connected we really are. And it sounds like you had a fantastic experience and opportunity, which you're bringing to BioHarvest Science. What does BioHarvest Sciences do?
Well, at our core, we're a biotech company that every day we're focused at unlocking the secrets of cellular plant biology, which is allowing us to actually ensure that we're bringing wellness to the world that the world has never seen before through a platform technology that we've built, which we call biofarming. This platform technology, which is obviously heavily patented and proprietary, allows us to be able to take the essential active ingredients that the human body needs from any plant or any fruit, and we're able to grow those active ingredients in cells and then grow cells in bioreactors. And over a short period of time, like 3 weeks, we're able to then be able to deliver a highly soluble and bioavailable and active ingredient. And we can do this, Barrington, across both primary and secondary metabolites. So primary metabolites being proteins, secondary metabolites being polyphenols, as well as, for example, cannabinoids. And today, we validated this unique technology, which, by the way, it is non-GMO. And when we take those active ingredients, we are able to maintain the natural structure of the active ingredient, which is why we are able to generate such high levels of solubility and bioavailability. And we actually focused initially in the polyphenol vertical and what we call our superfruit nutraceuticals to be able to validate the technology with a product that we call Vinia, which has been launched about 12 months ago in Israel, and we've just launched it in the US. And then our second vertical, we are focused on leveraging the power of our biofarming technology in the area of cannabis. And today we are pioneering the cannabis space by being the only company in the world that's able to actually grow trichomes, which are the mini factories that produce the cannabinoids, the terpenes and flavonoids in liquid media. This platform is able to be utilized across multiple other verticals. Obviously, today we're focused. Remember, going back to what I said earlier about being focused, we're focused on
There's that
executing.
the hyper focus.
Right?
Execute the heck out of your strategy.
You got it. So we're focused on superfood nutraceuticals, which is the polyphenol space, where we're busy now really rolling out Vinia on a global level. As I said, we just launched in the US with very, very good initial results. And we have, I'll talk more about what Vinea is, but we have a whole pipeline of products in that space. And we're going to be bringing our cannabis products to the marketplace by the end of the first half of 2022.
Now, you're touching on a lot of subjects that I want to delve into a little bit. Sustainability. You said it's non-GMO.
Mm-hmm.
Those in the news, those that have been following the news, talk about reduce, reuse, recycle, and sustainability, and leaving less of a footprint for the next generation. All of those things, and of course, health and wellness. Uh, how how are you doing that? How are you managing to do that? How are you incorporating it into your core values while exceeding exceeding the expectations and managing
Great question.
managing the crap out of your strategies?
It's a great question. We're very different to, I would say, 95% of other companies out there who look at sustainability as an add-on. It's almost like, okay, the world's changing around us. We have to make sure we're leaving our planet in a better situation to where it is today as we hand it over to our children and grandchildren. And there's enormous responsibility that corporate leaders like myself have. But many companies are now looking at their business saying, how do we now build sustainability into our business, and what do we need to change to start to actually be able to be credibly, with integrity, driving our business in a sustainable way? Well, at BioHarvest, we're very different. And the reason why we're very different is that sustainability is at the core of our biofarming technology platform. In this context, for example, as I said, it's non-GMO. We literally utilize the plant once as we start to once just to grow our initial cells. And then we start to use a cell bank in the case of polyphenols, or we call a cell reservoir in the case of our cannabinoids. We therefore utilize no pesticides. We don't need to grow the plant. There's no land, there's no pesticides, there's no fertilizer, there's no solvents. As a result, 100% of the water that we utilize in our process is biodegradable. And these are critical facets that ensure that we have no direct greenhouse gases emissions, no hazardous waste. And as I said, we're producing 100% biodegradable wastewater because it's at the core of our technology. So, this makes us very much into a purposeful driven company that's driving a continuous focus on improving human wellness, but in a way that is congruent with the planet that we're living on today.
Your shareholders and the type of people that are attracted to your company and the type of people that your company sort of wants, are they the people that had this coming in when they saw you and they saw BioHarvest, or did they have to learn? Did they have to evolve and understand that this is the core of what you do? This is hardwired into your daily operations.
I think it's a combination of both. What's unique about our company is that we are sitting really at the melting point of a number of critical trends. One being biotech and how biotech's changing the world. Two being health and wellness. I think today, after COVID and what all of us have been dealing with in the last 24 months, the whole notion of health and wellness is more in our heads and hearts than ever before. And then sustainability. People are realizing the importance of sustainability in the context of leaving the world to a better place for their children and grandchildren, and also major institutions out there today are basically very clearly communicating. We're not going to invest in companies that don't
That's
have
That is
a
absolutely true.
hardcore sustainability focus and making sure that it's authentic and real, not just an add on.
Right.
So for many people, they gravitate towards us because they're blown away with our technology and the ability of our technology to be able to bring to the world those unique, essential active ingredients that the body needs, because they've come at it in the context of, wow, I like this company because they have the unique ability to bring to the world active ingredients which are derived from plants, which are able to improve my health and wellness. Or they're coming in the context of the sustainability angle. I'm looking for companies that have technology which is going to transform the world in a way which is congruent with my own personal values from a sustainability perspective. So it's a bit of a mix, but in the end, they actually all blend together, because normally people that are really focused around health and wellness, they also have an appreciation for the world that we live in, because they understand the importance
Totally.
of the ecosystem that we live in, the plant kingdom, in actually helping to derive that health and wellness, and vice versa.
You know what? We talked about this internally at the Canadian Securities Exchange. And don't forget to visit www.thecse.com when you get a chance. And also check out our social media platforms on LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. There's my plug. But when it comes to raising money and the cost of capital, if you do not have a program in place, if you do not operate within the boundaries and parameters of making the world a better place or leaving less of a footprint, you won't be able to raise the money that you need or that you want versus somebody else who is. Um,
And by the way,
yeah,
Barrington, I think it's important that sustainable technologies and and cost, they actually go together. Many people, there is I guess a perspective that if for something to be sustainable, it actually, the cost of the technology has to cost a lot more. What's unique about our biofarming technology, based on how the founders of this company, specifically Dr. Yochi Chagai, who's the mother of this technology and has spent 12 years literally building this technology, this platform technology. When she built it, it not only had the critical sustainability factors at its core, but also she was able to do this in a way whereby the actual cost of implementing the technology was going to be game changing vis-a-vis the other alternatives out there. So for example, in the cannabis space, our cost of production for cannabis will be a fraction of what it will cost, say, for example, a indoor grower to produce cannabis. We're not utilizing, obviously, we don't have the same amount of space that's required. We're not utilizing the same amounts of energy for lighting and for air conditioning. We don't have the same challenges that they go through as it relates to a lot of the challenges around the cleanliness and the consistency. So ultimately, our actual cost of manufacturing is lower. Similarly, in the context of our polyphenols, we are now in the process of actually bringing to the marketplace and the finalization of building a 20 plus ton per year manufacturing facility, which will cost us $2.5 million to actually develop the facility with all the technology to be able to produce 20 plus tons per year of our vineyard product plus our other polyphenol products. So when you start to compare the cost of actually setting up these facilities versus some of our competitors out there, it really is, it's a significant magnitude of difference. So the two they can be blended together.
you're not only talking about the marrying of costs, but you're also talking about disruption, both in the technology and how you're approaching the business. And I do want to touch on that disruptive nature that seems to be coming out within BioHarvest, and I mean that in the most positive way. But another topic that I also want to get to uh, involves and discusses with females involved in the biotechnology arena. Um, there aren't a lot. I don't see a lot. I hope there's more, but I know you have something to say on that. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, look, um, for me, one of the critical leadership enablers that I've really come to understood is the power of female leadership in actually being able to drive success in a business. And I think one of the reasons why we at BioHarvest have been at the forefront of what we're doing from a technology perspective, from a sustainability perspective, from a breaking through and pioneering scientific frontiers that nobody has got to before, specifically in the case of cannabis, where literally there's no textbooks. There is no literature out there for what we are doing. Our team of scientists, female scientists, are literally creating history every single day. In addition, on the polyphenol side of our business, we've literally been able to develop the technology in a way that we're able to provide such significant benefits to the consumer, where in the case of our vinea, we're able to concentrate the levels of piceid resveratrol in our product 100 times more than what you actually have it in the actual skin of the red grape. So when I step back and I look, there's one word: determination, commitment, and just a level of passion for what they do, which is it's unheard of in the industry and across multiple industries. And for me, when I step back, that has been a critical driver or component that's driven from excellent female leaders in the business that have the ability to focus, that have a sense of commitment that is unwavering, to be able to break biological frontiers. And I don't think that, one could argue, is this a male element versus a female element? There's no doubt from my experience and what I've seen in my 25 years is that at the highest levels, the ability for persistence and focus and passion and commitment is definitely a strength of female leadership. And here at BioHarvest, in fact, more than 50% of our leadership team is female. And in fact, as part of our ESG sustainability report that we released to the marketplace about 3 weeks ago, we actually put as one of our goals to maintain at a minimum 50% level of diversity from a female leadership perspective across our senior leadership team, because they bring such levels of quality in the world that we operate in, which creates so much value for the business.
I want to get to the point one day where this isn't a topic. This is it's just the norm. But until that day, we will keep pushing the agenda and pushing the topic and making sure that all types of leadership, male and female, get recognized and given their due.
I think at the
Um,
end of the day, it's all about diversity, and having, lived in pretty much every major continent out there and worked across so many different cultures, the importance of diversity in leadership, it creates transformational results. And there's many actual papers that have been done and that have actually proven it. But I've seen that in the context of my career at Coke. I saw it in the context as well when I moved into the startup world. I spent 5 years in a startup, building a startup, and actually, having the blessing to do a very nice exit on that. And then here in BioHarvest, similarly, as I've explained, the power of diversity in driving exceptional business results, there's a direct correlation. And that diversity is from a cultural perspective, in many, many aspects.
Well, this has been engaging and this has been enlightening. Um, Ilan, what do you see as the future holding for yourself and for BioHarvest? Where are you going?
You know, what I say to my team every time I'm connecting with them, which is, pretty much at least on a weekly basis, sometimes on a daily basis, and we're sitting down and we're talking about the business, the number one communication is around our need every single day to focus on building human utility value. So you might be asking, what are you talking about? What is human utility value? What is this guy talking about? Well, human utility value is a term that, I guess I've come up with. I use it all the time. And, I talk to my shareholder partners about this all the time. And human utility value is our ability every single day to leverage the power of our technology to bring unique active ingredients from the plant kingdom to the consumer, which is going to provide them with transformational health and wellness benefits. And I always say, if we're focused on building human utility value, we will generate significant shareholder value. And it has to be in that specific order. So when you step back and you look at our company, being a proud biotech company who really is leading biological science in the plant kingdom, we are blessed to have this platform technology that today has been validated and we're selling products successfully in the superfruit nutraceutical world with our polyphenols. We will be bringing a grade of cannabis to the marketplace next year, which the market has never seen before, from a fingerprint consistency perspective, from a level of purity and cleanliness perspective, from a full spectrum nature perspective, sustainability perspective, as well as overall cost of manufacturing perspective. But where we will be in the future is that this platform, this biofarming technology platform, will be utilized across another 3, 4, 5 different verticals that we can create transformational human utility value for consumers as we build out a major biotech platform technology company anchored in unleashing the critical value that the plant kingdom brings us, and working across multiple different verticals to be able to bring that value from a human utility value perspective, and then ultimately from a shareholder value perspective.
Human utility value. I love that phrase. I'm going to make sure that's down below in the show notes when you're clicking this. Ilan, thank you so much for taking the time to join us from just outside of Tel Aviv. All the best to you and your family. Thank you on behalf of the CSE for BioHarvest's continued listing with the Canadian Securities Exchange. We appreciate you. We appreciate the company and everything that you've been bringing. And to our listeners, if you like this show and want to hear more, please submit please submit your requests, detailed requests to www.thcsc.com. Can send it to myself, barrington.miller@thcsc.com, as well as media@thcsc.com. This will be available on YouTube as well as all your social media platforms. I've been your host, Barrington Miller, with the CSE, the Exchange for Entrepreneurs podcast. Thank you, and see you at the next episode.